Have you ever played Shaq Fu? If so, why? Why would you play that? Have you not heard how bad it is? I could tell you how bad it is, but I'm not putting myself through that. No, instead, we're going to play Pop N Twinbee for the SNES. Released in 1993 on the Super Nintendo by Konami, back when that actually meant something, the game is a vertical top-down shooter. Shoot 'em up, shum up, cute 'em up, kush, that's not a word. There were 3 games released in the UK in the Twinbee series, 1 for the Game Boy and 2 for the Super Nintendo. I originally purchased this one thinking it was the other game for the Super Nintendo. That game, Rainbow Bell Adventures, I had seen multiple times on Games Master or Games World, one of those quality 90s TV programs back in the UK, and thought to myself, I wouldn't mind a go at that. So I went to a trusty auction website and purchased the game, forgetting to actually research which one I wanted, and I ended up with Pop N Twinbee instead. I'm not disappointed with my purchase. Back then I probably would have been, but now I've got a bit more of a fond love for shoot 'em ups these days. And compared to the crazy bullet hell stuff I play these days, this is a nice welcome change of pace. Nice and simple, easy controls, and one that I can actually play with other people without them getting murdered by about 1,000 bullets on screen at once. There's even an option, in options, to change the game to couples mode. Couples mode basically means player 1 gets shot at a lot, player 2 doesn't get shot at as much. So if you've got someone who's not as competent at shooting games, it just means that you can play with them a little bit more as well. But to be fair, this is back in a day when cheats were prevalent, and so it's very easy to actually just pop those things on instead and just blast through the game without any worries at all. Because the plot is super detailed as you could probably expect from a shoot 'em up, I'll explain it briefly now. There's a young girl who contacts our 2 heroes, Twinbee and Winbee, to say that her grandfather, who's a brilliant scientist, has walked into a pole, and that's made him mad. He's then decided to try and take over the world with his crazy acorn robots. I'm not gonna lie, one of the first things I wanted to know when I was actually researching this game was what the hell are the little yellow things that I'm shooting at 99% of the time? Turns out they're acorn robots. I'll just let that sink in for a bit. I know Bowser has Goombas and Dr. Wily has little Mets, but acorn robots? They don't even have arms. To be honest though, I don't really know why I'm making such a big deal out of it. If you look at all of the rest of the enemies in this game, none of it makes sense in the first place. And does it need to make any sense? No. No, not really. They're just there to try and kill you. I'd love to have one of the walking pineapples though. I'd have him as a pet, come home from a hard day's work and be greeted with him just to look at. There's 6 stages in the game, each one ending with a climactic boss fight. The only stage I didn't enjoy having to replay was stage 3. If you ever die in this game, you go right back to the start of it, and stage 3 just seems to be the longest one out of the bunch. Upon choosing either a 1-player or 2-player game, you're asked to input your name and then choose a transformation mode. There's normal, surround, and engulf. Each one kinda has its benefits in certain stages, but I mainly chose surround. It's kinda like most orbits you find in other shoot 'em ups. You have a varied selection of attacks in the game. A normal shot which could be powered up to different degrees, bombs which can target enemies lower than you, a punch which I found useful just once, and mini chibis which explode across the screen. You can't shoot while this is going on, but they absolutely wreck everything that's on there. To power up your ship in the game, is it a ship? To power up your ship in the game, you have to collect different colour bells, a staple in the Twinbee series. Different bells offer different things. Bronze bells are pointless, literally points. Blue bells offer a speed increase, up to 3 levels. Catching a 4th one sends you all the way back to the slowest speed. Green allows you to get more of your transformation mode bits. A purple one, the darker purple one of the 2, gives you a spread shot. The silver one gives you a cannon. The flashing one gives you more chibi animation for your special attack. And the pink one gives you a shield, which can be hit up to 3 times. The 2 other pickups in the game are a heart and a fairy. The heart gives you some health back, the fairy gives you a lot more health back. However, it's super rare and I've only ever seen it once. Graphically, there's nothing wrong with the game whatsoever. The colours stand out really nice with all the bright colours, and the enemies themselves really do have a unique look to them. I mean, again, a walking pineapple. And to go along with the graphics, the sound and the music are good too. Nothing I'm ever going to really want to download and listen to on repeated play or even get stuck in my head and have to hum, but at the same time, the music fits well with each stage. There's a few sound effects that can get a bit annoying, but I tend to try and not get hit so I don't hear them too often. Regardless of difficulty option, I never really found the game too much of a challenge. Stage 3, like I said, can be a bit of a pain, just due to the length of it, but because you can shoot the bells to whichever colour you want, as long as you can juggle them to the colours you need, preferably green, and the spread shot I found to be the two most useful, you can pretty much get through the game without any hassle. If you do find the game a hassle, you can also use cheats. Good old Konami cheats. Things like extra lives, invincibility, more bits around your ship. So if you really do struggle with the game, even on the lowest setting, there is that option there for you as well. Would I recommend this game? Well, considering that I thought I was buying a side-scrolling platforming game, and I ended up with a shooter instead, I'd say yes. It's the sort of game where I would use it as an entry level to shoot 'em ups. Challenging enough in certain places, but easy enough to get to grips with. Now to find a store that sells me a walking pineapple robot.